Despite my experience in Sekiro, I've never actually beaten it at its absolute maximum difficulty, that being no Kuro's Charm and with the Demon Bell, so I'm just gonna lose the Kuro's Charm in the tutorial and get the Demon Bell curse by taking the shortcut through the Headless Boss Arena in the Ashina outskirts. And with the Demon Bell activated, the run could officially begin. So the first thing I did after grabbing the Demon Bell was handle the snake, which to this day I don't know how to speedrun, so I just took it out normally. And then it gets very, very loud. Then I proceeded to spend 30 minutes stuck on Gyobu as I was hit with the eye-opening difficulty of a charmless run. And of course right after that I fought the Blazing Bull, which didn't take as much time but still was incredibly annoying. Then I went through the top of the Ashina Castle as quickly as possible, but had some issues with the area's idol, until I eventually just got really mad and made a beeline straight for the area mini-boss, and defeated it without unlocking the preliminary idol because save points are a lie. Then I spent a solid hour fighting Genichiro because chip damage is way more effective than you might think. I swear I must have had 15 attempts where I died because I couldn't perfectly deflect the one bow move and got absolutely obliterated. That aside, I met Kuro in the room below the arena, got some dialogue, and avoided the rat quest. After that I was able to move on to the first of the Immortal Severance ending items, the stone, which forced me to backtrack through the Ashina Reservoir and defeat the Lone Shadow in the well, which thankfully only took me one try and wasn't too annoying. Then I proceeded through the back of the Ashina Reservoir to the Ashina Depths, where the Snake Eyes area mini-boss for some reason took me a disgusting 40 minutes to defeat, because of my inability to dodge a single grab attack. That aside, I continued to the Hidden Forest, where I killed the Mist Noble without much incident, contrary to my fully unlocked run where I got lost for like 20 minutes. Anyway, before fighting the Corrupted Monk, I went all around the map, from secret rooms in the Ashina Castle to some random merchants I forgot about in the early game to collect some extra prayer beads, gourd seeds, and other helpful items. And even with that prep though, between chip damage, perilous attacks, and fumbling, I exhausted my supply of snap seeds and died. I mean to say that I had enough snap seeds for multiple attempts, and I just failed on all those attempts. Due to the fact that it's literally impossible to beat this fight without snap seeds, I had to resort to some cheesy methods which require the Mistraven prosthetic tool, so it's off to the Harada estate now. While there, I made sure to grab the flame barrel and axe just in case. Once I was done with the Shinobi Hunter, I moved on to the temple and fumbled. Well, that was a little annoying, but I got it on the next try, and then took a bunch more tries to actually do the cheese on the monk itself. Nevertheless, the job's done. Time for the flower. So down to Sunken Valley we go. I skipped over the optional Snake Eyes mini-boss, got shot at a whole lot, and fought the long-arm centipede after going through the gun fort, which of course was actually pretty hard due to chip damage. Then I jumped off a bridge, avoided a snake, almost fell a few times, and spent 20 minutes fighting a headless monkey, flower down. Now it's on to the step I for some reason almost always leave last, the Mortal Blade. So I went to what is essentially Ashina's basement, and spent a good while fighting this ghost version of an Ashina Palace guard, who for some runs is or isn't there. Well, doesn't matter, because this run he was there and he was a massive pain. I mean, I spent like 3 attempts going from the idol to this guy, dying, and then eventually just resorted to going straight to the lift. Anyways, as mentioned, I just bypassed that guy and took the lift up to Senpo, ran up the hill, went through the cricket room, and did a bunch of jumping before fighting the armored warrior, which is usually a pain anyways, so the difficulty was noticeable and annoying, but not very surprising. After that, I went up the rest of the temple and I-framed through the main door to ring the bell and start the fight. With increased chip damage, I really thought this fight would be more difficult, but it didn't really take me a while to finish and went pretty normal. So after the fight, I arrived at the inner sanctum and picked up the Mortal Blade as well as some rice before heading back to the entrance of Ashina's basement and clearing a path along the rooftops and upper towers. I then didn't hesitate to betray the entire purpose of this game, and after several attempts at both the Chained Ogre and the final boss fight, I scrapped the idea of going through the Chained Ogre for the prayer bead, and instead bought the Loaded Umbrella, and thanks to the money and resources I had gathered throughout the rest of the game, I was able to get the Magnet upgrade, which is very important for deflection of one mind, Ishin's combat art. And with the Loaded Umbrella, in about 30 minutes of frustrating attempts, I defeated Ishin, beat the game, fully charmless, and with the Demon Bell.